find the signal.
Imagine giving away millions of dollars and becoming more powerful every time you do it. A private island, a Lamborghini, a house, $10,000 to a stranger. To most people, these look like prizes. To Jimmy Donaldson, better known as MrBeast, they are something else. They are fuel. Fuel for a machine that turns curiosity into clicks. Clicks into revenue. Revenue into bigger spectacles. And those spectacles into businesses that reach far beyond YouTube. In June 2026, MrBeast became the first individual creator to reach 500 million YouTube subscribers. But the subscriber count is not the most extraordinary part of this story. The real story is how a teenager with a laptop transformed human attention into a corporate empire. Without a television network, a Hollywood studio, or a century-old brand behind him. And here is the surprising part. His empire was not built on money. Money came later. It was built on a promise, a silent agreement between MrBeast and every person who clicks one of his videos. By the end of this story, that promise will explain both his spectacular rise and the biggest threat to everything he has built. This is Agnetic, the signal behind the noise. Long before the giant sets and million-dollar prizes, Jimmy Donaldson was uploading videos from North Carolina. He began in 2012, at just 13 years old. The early videos were not revolutionary. There was gaming content, commentary, and experiments with whatever might attract viewers. Most of them went almost nowhere. But while other teenagers used YouTube for entertainment, Jimmy treated it like a puzzle. Why did one video receive 10,000 views while another received 10 million? Why did people click? When did they leave? What made them share? He studied titles, thumbnails, watch time, pacing, ideas. He spoke with other small creators and dissected successful videos for hours. This distinction matters. Most people saw YouTube as a stage. Jimmy saw it as a system. Then, in 2017, he uploaded a video with an idea so ridiculous that it was almost impossible to ignore. He counted to 100,000. That was essentially the entire concept. No celebrity, no expensive set, no complicated story, just one young man attempting a painfully difficult task, and a title that made the outcome instantly understandable. The video broke through, and hidden inside that strange experiment was the first rule of the future MrBeast empire. If people can understand the idea in 1 second, they can become curious in the next. Every YouTube video faces the same brutal test. Before anyone can admire the editing, the story, or the money spent on production, they must click. That makes the title and thumbnail more than marketing. They are the front door to the entire business. MrBeast's most famous concepts often feel enormous, yet they are remarkably simple. I spent 50 hours buried alive. Last to leave circle wins $500,000. $1 versus $500,000 plane ticket. Each one creates an immediate question. Can he survive? Who will win? What could possibly justify that price difference? There is no homework for the viewer, no complicated background to understand. The premise works across ages, cultures, and often languages. But earning the click is only half of the equation. A spectacular thumbnail can bring a viewer through the door. It cannot make them stay. That requires a second system: retention. MrBeast videos rarely begin with a long greeting or a slow explanation. They begin with the promise. I recreated every single set from Squid Game in real life. Within seconds, the viewer knows what is happening, what is at stake, and why the ending matters. Then the video keeps renewing attention. A new obstacle appears. The prize increases. A contestant faces a decision. The location changes. A clock begins counting down. Whenever curiosity is about to fade, another question replaces it. This is why his videos can feel less like traditional television and more like a chain of unanswered promises. Click to discover the premise. Stay to discover the outcome. And before one question is answered, another one has already begun. The algorithm may distribute the video, but human psychology powers it. Here is where MrBeast separated himself from almost every creator around him. When the videos began earning money, he did not treat that money as the final reward. He treated it as a larger production budget. Revenue from one video helped fund the next. Bigger videos attracted more viewers. More viewers attracted advertisers. Advertiser money funded even bigger ideas. $10,000 became $100,000. A simple endurance challenge became a custom-built arena. A homemade competition became a real-life recreation of Squid Game. The money was not merely being spent, it was being placed on screen, where the audience could see it. That is critical. A traditional media company might spend heavily on executive layers, distribution deals, or advertising campaigns the audience never notices. MrBeast made the spending part of the entertainment. The prize became the headline. The set became the thumbnail. The cost itself became evidence that the next video would be bigger than the last. This created a flywheel. Better idea, more attention, more revenue, more reinvestment, even better idea. Each revolution made the next revolution harder for competitors to match. A newcomer could copy the editing style. They could imitate the thumbnail. They could even reproduce the challenge. But they could not easily copy years of accumulated audience trust, production infrastructure, data, talent, sponsor relationships, and capital. MrBeast was no longer making individual videos. He was building a compounding advantage. There was one problem. An empire cannot depend forever on one person sitting alone in a bedroom. So the MrBeast operation became a system. Teams could develop ideas, test titles, design thumbnails, construct sets, manage contestants, edit footage, and coordinate projects at a scale no solo creator could sustain. The creative process became closer to a technology company's product cycle. Build, measure, learn, improve. And the product was not simply a video. The product was viewer response. Would people click? Would they keep watching? Would the ending satisfy the promise made by the thumbnail? Then came another breakthrough. Globalization. Comedy based on local references can be difficult to export. MrBeast's visual language, competition, danger, generosity, scale, is far more universal. And language barriers could be reduced. By 2023, YouTube reported that MrBeast had dubbed popular videos into 11 languages using multi-language audio. One production could now travel across markets without rebuilding the entire video. This changed the economics. The cost of filming remained enormous, but the potential audience became global. MrBeast was no longer competing only with other American YouTubers. He was building a form of borderless entertainment. But attention alone is not an empire. Attention disappears the moment people look somewhere else. To make it durable, MrBeast had to convert attention into something he could own. That is where the businesses enter the story. In 2022, he founded Feastables, beginning with chocolate bars. On the surface, this looked like celebrity merchandise in a different wrapper. But strategically, it was far more powerful. Most new food brands face an expensive problem. Nobody knows they exist. They must pay for advertising, fight for shelf space, and slowly earn recognition. MrBeast began with something traditional brands spend fortunes trying to acquire: a massive audience already willing to pay attention. Every new video could become a distribution event. Every product launch could become content. Every giveaway could encourage trial. And every supermarket shelf could advertise the MrBeast brand to people who were not watching YouTube at that moment. The relationship worked in both directions. The audience promoted the chocolate promoted the channel. According to investor documents reported in 2025, Feastables generated about $250 million in sales in 2024, and more than $20 million in profit. The media business produced a similar level of sales, but reportedly lost almost $80 million. Think about what that means. The videos attracted the attention, but the chocolate captured more of the profit. The media machine could operate like an engine, even when the engine itself was expensive, because it powered businesses built around physical products. Then came Viewstats, an analytics platform co-founded by MrBeast. This was a different kind of conversion. Feastables turned audience attention into consumer demand. Viewstats turned years of creator obsession into software for other creators. One sold a product to fans, the other sold a version of the system behind the fame. And with Beast Games, the format expanded from YouTube to Prime Video. The first season brought MrBeast's familiar formula: huge numbers, simple stakes, elimination, spectacle, to streaming television. Amazon says the series reached 50 million viewers in its first 25 days, becoming Prime Video's most watched unscripted show at the time. It was renewed for 2 more seasons. A boy who once studied the entertainment industry from his bedroom had become valuable enough for one of the world's largest companies to distribute his format. That is the transformation. creator to studio, audience to distribution network, videos to an economic ecosystem. There is another reason the machine became so powerful. MrBeast did not build his identity only around wealth. He built it around the visible transfer of wealth. Instead of saying, "Look what I can afford," the videos often say, "Look what this person can receive." That small difference changes the emotional experience. Viewers get spectacle, but they also get relief, surprise, and transformation. A waiter receives a car. A family receives a home. A person receives medical treatment. Philanthropic projects become stories, and the stories generate views that can help finance more projects. Supporters see a virtuous cycle. Attention funds generosity, and generosity earns more attention. Critics see a more uncomfortable exchange. Human need turned into entertainment. Both reactions reveal the same truth. In the MrBeast system, emotion is not separate from the business model. It is central to it. The audience does not merely watch money being spent. It watches lives change, and that makes the content more memorable, more shareable, and more closely tied to Jimmy himself. But tying everything to one person creates enormous risk. The same flywheel that accelerates trust can accelerate damage. MrBeast Burger demonstrated the danger. Launched through a virtual restaurant partnership, the brand expanded rapidly. But Jimmy Donaldson later sued the operating company, alleging quality control problems had harmed his name. The partner denied his claims and countersued. The lesson was brutal. You can lend your attention to another company. You cannot outsource the consequences. Viewstats faced a different problem in 2025 when creators criticized an AI thumbnail tool over its use of existing creators' work. MrBeast removed the feature and acknowledged that he had missed the mark. And Beast Games faced allegations from contestants concerning safety, food, medical access, wages, and working conditions. A lawsuit was filed against production entities connected to MrBeast and Amazon. The claims are allegations, not findings of liability. Donaldson said he would let the lawyers handle the case and argued that many contestants had positive experiences. These episodes matter because MrBeast is not simply the spokesman for the empire. He is the trust layer connecting nearly everything inside it. If a chocolate bar disappoints, it reflects on MrBeast. If a production fails, it reflects on MrBeast. If a partner loses control of quality, it reflects on MrBeast. The brand can enter a new industry with extraordinary speed. But every new industry also creates a new way for the brand to be damaged. Attention makes expansion easier. It does not make execution easy. So, what is MrBeast's real product? It is not chocolate. It is not game shows. It is not even YouTube videos. His real product is predictable curiosity. When viewers see the MrBeast name, they expect an idea that is instantly clear, unusually large, and worth staying to finish. That expectation produces the click. The video works to justify it. The revenue funds a larger promise. And the trust travels into the next video, the next product, and the next platform. That is how attention becomes an empire. Not through one viral moment, but through a system that makes the next viral moment more likely. Not by collecting money, but by repeatedly risking it on greater scale. Not by renting an audience for a campaign, but by building a direct relationship with hundreds of millions of people. Yet the final lesson is not that attention is everything. Attention is only the entrance. Trust turns attention into distribution. Systems turn distribution into businesses. And execution determines whether those businesses strengthen the trust or slowly consume it. MrBeast built one of the most powerful attention machines in modern media. The challenge now is no longer getting the world to look. It is giving the world a reason to keep believing in what it sees. Because on the internet, attention can build an empire, but trust decides how long it survives. If you enjoy documentaries that uncover the hidden systems behind the world's biggest trends, subscribe to Agnetic, where we find the signal behind the noise. And tell us below, is MrBeast building the future of entertainment, or a machine that has become too big to control?